Now, let us learn about ocean currents. Students, as we all know, ocean currents are important characteristics in the seas and oceans.
The continuous movement of water in a moderately set direction across a great distance can be termed as ocean current. The ocean currents are also referred to as ocean rivers. On the basis of temperature, the ocean currents are divided as warm currents and cold currents.
Now, let us learn about the warm currents and the cold currents.
While the warm currents flow towards the poles, the cold currents flow towards the equator.
On the basis of the speed, the ocean currents are classified as stream and drift.
The speed flow of the ocean water current is called a stream and the slow flow of ocean currents is called a drift.
You must be wondering what causes the ocean currents, isn't it? Let us see now. The centrifugal force is the one of the main factors that cause the ocean currents. Students, the centrifugal force is higher at the equator when compared to the poles.
The great circles at the time of revolution coincide with the equator, which results in higher centrifugal force at the poles than at the poles. The variation enables the movements of the equatorial water to move towards the poles.
The wind is another main factor that causes the ocean currents.
The wind and wind movements create a pressure that in turn influences the direction of the currents. The frictional movement of winds causes the water to move along the direction of the wind. As a result, currents are created with high velocities. For example, a wind of 50 miles per hour creates a current with a velocity of 0.75 miles per hour.
The precipitation is another important factor that causes the ocean currents.
With the equatorial regions experiencing highest rainfall, there is an increase in the sea level. This results in the north and south movement from the equator. Solar energy. The heat of the solar energy results in the expansion of water. This is the reason the ocean water is around 8 centimeters higher in level near the equator when compared to the middle latitudes. As a result of this variation, a slight gradient is caused because of which the water flows down the slope.
In addition to these factors, the salinity, melting of ice, and differences in density are the other factors that influence the ocean currents. Another very important aspect of the oceans is the resource aspect. It may be surprising, but most of the life on Earth is underwater. With the plethora of life underwater, man has so much more to explore the different forms of life underwater. As we all know, we depend on the oceans for food and livelihood from the ancient times.
The oceans are a rich source of food like fish and salt besides sand and gravel. In addition, the oceans are powerhouses of chlorine, fluorine and iodine. The ocean waves are used for generation of power. In addition, oils are extracted from the ocean floors. Gems and pearls are other important products of the oceans. In addition, the shores of oceans have served as places for the flourishing of civilizations and trade has been carried across them.
On the other hand, the oceans are now falling prey to urbanization and exploitation of the man, while many large fish like whales and other sea creatures are becoming extinct. The dumping of waste like plastic and other items has been affecting the oceans immensely. Students, here's an exercise for you. Find out the ways in which the oceans can be protected from further exploitation for the next class.